Well, you'll be happy to know that I got a list of foods called Grand Slammers. So these foods activate all 5 of the health defense systems in one fell swoop, one shot. My motto, by the way, is love your food to love your health, which we've actually helped to foster 41 FDA-approved new breakthrough treatments for cancer, diabetes, and even vision loss. Well, the first thing that I think an important myth to bust is that in order to eat healthy, you have to cut stuff out of your life, right? That's the thing that bums the people out the most. That's the thing that makes diets unsustainable because, human nature abhors deprivation. When somebody tells you you can't do something, your brain automatically triggers this switch that says, well, maybe just once or maybe more, right? So I've, again, sort of tried to flip that discussion around to say, could we actually add foods to our diet? What foods should we add? Because if we can focus on the foods that are supported by science that help us prevent disease and lower disease, ameliorate diseases, help treat diseases, frankly, that's food as medicine, then we're actually doing something positive. So that's the first myth is you got to remove everything that you love. I would tell you that the opposite is true. You can actually add food here that you love. And my motto, by the way, is love your food to love your health, because that's what you want to line up. Those are the 2 sites that you want to line up when you're actually staring at your dinner plate. I wrote my book, Eat to Beat Disease. I didn't really set out to become a writer, an author. I love books, but that's not something I really wanted to do. This is a pretty thick book. The reason I wrote it is because unlike drugs, which might take 10 years and $1 billion to develop, food is something different. It's got intimacy, and food is very close to us. I mean, we all have some food that we're connecting with our childhood, what our mom cooked, a smell that we love, and we all come from a culture, and food is really part of culture. So we're all from someplace. And that's why I really wanted to get the word out that the things that we're ultimately more connected to than medicine, our food, can actually impact our health. So science, health, food, these are my passions. And I'm somebody who's super mission driven. So that's why I'm taking my time to share my research and my knowledge with you. The good news is that there are more than 100 different foods that I wrote about in my book, and there are tables and charts that are anti-angiogenic. They enhance your body's ability to cut off the blood supply feeding cancers. And that's part of the research I've done at the National Cancer Institute. Some of these foods, by the way, include tomatoes. So you've heard about tomatoes and they're nightshade fruit and they've got lectins. Move that's all kind of like good thought, wrong idea. Tomatoes, actually have lycopene. They are healthy to eat. All the human studies, not animal studies, show you that tomatoes actually can reduce the risk of different types of cancers, including prostate and breast. If you can't actually get whole fresh tomato, guess what? You can order this. This is actually just a tube of tomato paste. And San Marzano tomatoes, which are from Italy, have the highest levels of lycopene. All right. By the way, a clinical study of 36,000 men showed that eating tomatoes, cooked tomatoes, can reduce the risk of prostate cancer by almost 30% and by breast cancer by about 20%, all due to this cancer-starving properties. Now, there are other anti-angiogenic foods you should know about, Soy, again, another urban legend that women should avoid soy. Turns out soy cuts off the blood supply, feeding breast cancers and other cancers. All right, so there's a big urban legend. This is what I'm telling you. Science cuts through urban legends to be able to develop information, the evidence that you can use. So this is what I'm all about. Looking at the research, cutting through the myths and urban legends and trying to clarify for people. So you're not scared of your food. You actually understand your food. And by the way, tomatoes and soy and all these other things taste great. Now you can lean into your food and feel good about it as well. Black raspberries, cacao, dark chocolate, pomegranates, green tea. I got some green tea here too. I always drink some green tea, all anti-angiogenic. Well, you'll be happy to know that I got a list of foods called Grand Slammers. So these foods activate all 5 of the health defense systems in one fell swoop, one shot. So let me just read some of them to you. Apricots, mangoes, peaches, carrots, eggplant, kale, green tea, walnuts, squid ink. Here, that's the one from left field. That like squid ink pasta, black pasta, that it's the ink is actually what the squid uses, like an octopus, just squirt into the water to escape from a predator. That's actually used in Mediterranean cultures. It's delicious. I really love it to cook with it. That also activates all of your body's health defense systems. Okay, so those are some of the grand slammers. So what are some of the things that can activate the immune system besides drugs? I mean, there's a lot of things that can actually help our immune system, but food, is really a pretty powerful way to enhance it. We talked a little bit earlier about kimchi boosting our immune system through the microbiome, but there are foods that just can actually automatically boost our immune system by themselves. One of them is mango. I love mangoes. They're juicy, sweet, filled with fiber. They got lots of vitamins, and they also have bioactives. And I call them mango, by the way. A mango is a stone fruit, but I call mangoes and stone fruit grand slammers of foods. These are foods, a whole table of foods I have in my book that all activate all 5 defense systems at the same time, including the immune system. So you can slam it out of the park by eating these foods. Mango is one of my favorites. Tasty, juicy, sweet. You get vitamins, good minerals, and it actually contains these natural bioactives that actually can help boost your immune system. But it's not just mangoes. You got other things. Broccoli sprouts. Some people talk about living foods, right? Those are the young sprouting foods that have all the nutrients and the energy when they're just young babies. And later on, when they get older, they get distributed the energy on the whole bigger plant. Well, it turns out that broccoli sprouts have been studied to see if they can boost the immune system. And in my book, I talk about a research study where they gave young people in their 20s the flu shot. Actually, it's not a shot. They gave a flu inhaler to protect them against the flu. And it turns out that if they gave them also a couple of shots of broccoli sprouts made into a smoothie, that's it, a couple of shots of this a day, that you would actually improve the response like 20 times to the benefit protecting you against the flu. Boost your immune system. And when they even swabbed their noses afterwards, where the flu virus might live, they were like almost all gone. And so again, this is an example of a food that can boost up the immune response that we want to have to protect ourselves. So, you go to the doctor, you get a flu shot, but, what about having a smoothie made with broccoli sprouts as well? Final food I want to talk about is really mushrooms. So, some people love mushrooms, some people don't, but everybody should love them because, number one, they grow right from the ground. They suck up all those really nice nutrients from the ground. If it's growing in clean ground, we've got to protect our earth, have a good planet so that our food is really safe. But inside the mushroom, there is a natural compound called beta-glucan, that is found in the cap of the mushroom that we cut up, right, and eat. And that stimulates the immune system directly. But here's a real surprise. Regardless of whether it's a shiitake mushroom, a maitake mushroom, a portobello mushroom, or even the lowly white button mushroom. But researchers have found that the stems, called the stipe, actually contains up to 3 times more beta-glucan than the cap. Cap is good, stem better. Next time you eat mushrooms, eat them both. My recommendation is take, only about 1/3 of what your brain tells you to take, put it on your plate. Enjoy what you're eating, choose the right things, and lean into the foods that you love.